Friends, it is said that the account of deeds is never incomplete. Whatever one does, he definitely gets the same result, if not today, then tomorrow. Today's story is about a woman who suffered the punishment of the deeds done in her past lives in this life. This story is not only informative, but also inspires us to understand our life deeply. Friends, all of you, please stay with us till the end of the story. And if you are new to the channel, then definitely subscribe and press the bell icon. This is a very old story. In ancient times, there used to be a small village where a girl named Indu lived in a poor farmer family. She was the only child of the family, and her parents raised her with great love and care. Indu was as beautiful as she was virtuous. Her nature was very simple and polite. She was living a contented life with her parents in a small mud house in the village. That area was ruled by King Surya Pratap. The king was still unmarried and often used to visit villages in disguise to know the condition of his subjects. One day, King Surya Pratap was passing through the village with his bodyguards. Then he saw a young girl washing clothes on the riverbank. Her beauty, her simplicity, as if time had stopped for a moment. That young girl was none other than Indu. The king immediately stopped his horse and went to her. But as soon as Indu saw the stranger coming towards her, she got scared and in panic ran straight towards her house. The king called her, but she went inside the house without saying anything. Hearing the king's voice, Indu's father Ramlal came out. When he saw that the king himself was standing at his door, he got scared. He folded his hands and said, "Maharaj, did you make any mistake?" The king smiled and said, "No, Ramlal, you did not make any mistake. Rather, I have come for a special work." Ramlal was stunned. "What is your order, Maharaja?" the king said in a serious tone. "I like your daughter Indu. I want to marry her." Ramlal was stunned. He was a simple farmer. He did not have the courage to refuse the king's proposal. He thought to himself, "My daughter will become a queen, now the rest of her life will be spent happily." The marriage was solemnized with great pomp in a few days. Indu came to the palace. The initial days passed very beautifully. The king's behavior was loving. After some time, Indu gave birth to a beautiful son. There was an atmosphere of joy and happiness in the palace. Friends, but it is said that time does not always remain the same. 6 years of marriage passed. Indu's son was now 5 years old, but now the king's heart was getting bored of Indu. One day the king went out for a tour of the village. There his eyes fell on a very beautiful woman, and Indu's place gradually moved away from his heart. After some time, the king married that new woman and brought her also to the palace. With the arrival of the new queen, Indu's life became full of thorns. The new queen began to belittle her, and the king gradually distanced himself from her. Now Indu's words were ignored. She was neglected. Then one day the king expelled Indu from the palace. He kept the son with himself, and Indu was ruthlessly thrown out of the palace. Helpless and broken, Indu returned to her father's house. When the parents saw their daughter's condition, their hearts broke. Indu's mother fell ill, and soon after, she passed away. The death of his wife broke Ramlal's heart, and within a few months, he too passed away. Now Indu was left completely alone. She was in dire need of support, but the pain was so deep that she could not even speak to anyone. Meanwhile, a camel trader named Madan, who had been visiting their house earlier, started visiting more often. He began to sympathize with Indu to console her. Indu, who was emotionally very weak, began to believe his words. After some time, Madan proposed marriage. Indu, thinking that now perhaps life would get a new base, accepted this proposal. Now both of them started living together like husband and wife. Madan was a camel trader and used to go to the camel fair every year. One day he said to Indu, "You stay at home all the time. This time come with me to the camel fair. The scenery there is very enchanting." Indu thought that perhaps going out would lighten her mind, so she decided to go to the fair with Madan. Madan showed her around the fair, made her laugh and pretended to be happy, but there was a deep conspiracy going on in his mind. He sold Indu along with his camels. Indu had no idea about this. Madan made her sit near the camels and said, "I will be back soon," and he quietly left from there. After some time, some traders came there and started pulling Indu along with the camels by force. Indu got scared and shouted, "Where are you taking me? Leave me!" but the traders slapped her hard to silence her voice and knocked her unconscious. When Indu regained consciousness, she found herself in a strange place, a room, where the walls were black and the air was heavy. The mistress of that room was standing in front of her. She said coldly, "Now you will stay here. We have bought you. You will have to dance here and fulfill people's desires. In return, you will get food, clothes, and a place to hide your head." A wave of anger passed across Indu's face. "I will never do all this," she thundered. The mistress laughed and said, "If you do not obey me, you will starve, be beaten, and finally be broken. You have no other way." Indu protested a lot. She cried, screamed, tried to run away, but her voice never reached anyone. Gradually, oppression and hunger broke her courage. And out of helplessness crushing her soul, she accepted the life of the brothel. Time passed. 15 years passed. Now she was almost 40 years old. Her face was still beautiful, but the sadness deep in her eyes revealed the cracks in her soul. One day, a young prince came to the brothel. He must have been 20 years old. His name was Rudra Pratap. He said to the mistress, "I want to meet the most beautiful and experienced woman here." The mistress showed him many women, but his eyes stopped at Indu. "This is what I want," he said. The prince went to Indu's room. Indu looked at him and asked, "Who are you? And why have you come?" The prince smiled. "I am Prince Rudra Pratap of Ramgarh. My father is the king of this kingdom." Hearing this, Indu was stunned. Her eyes widened and she turned to stone. "Prince Rudra Pratap," her lips mumbled, "this is my son whom I lost in childhood." She looked at God and started crying. "Oh God, what sin did I commit that today I have to bear this insult from my own son?" The prince did not understand the meaning of Indu's strange behavior. He asked for permission. "If you want, I can go." Indu said in a broken voice, "Yes, you can go." The prince left and Indu was shattered. She started crying. "Was this the punishment of my life? Did I commit such a big crime? I was just a mother, just a mother." After some time, the brothel owner came to her room. She saw Indu crying and was shocked. "What happened, Indu? The prince had come today. Did he not give me any valuable gift?" Indu said in a choked voice, "Yes, he has given me a gift, a wound that will probably not heal even after my death." The mistress was surprised. "What happened?" Indu told her the whole story, sobbing. "That prince was none other than my son, the same son whom I had lost. And today, in front of him, The mistress became silent. For the first time, there was a line of regret on her face too. "Indu, I had never thought of this. Whatever happened to you, no one else should have to go through that." Indu folded her hands while crying and said, "Madam, I cannot stay here anymore. Let me go. I will do anything, I will beg, but I cannot bear it anymore." The mistress's eyes became moist. "Go, Indu, go. From today you are free. The world may be cruel, but now there is a fire of truth in your eyes." The mistress remained silent for a while, then took a deep breath and said, "Indu, you have endured a lot while living here. You have earned many times more for me than the money I had bought you for. But whatever happened today has shaken me from within. Now you are free. You can go wherever you want. If you ever need me, remember me." Indu's eyes filled with tears. She folded her hands and said, "Thank you, mistress. Now I am living only to see what else I am alive to endure. But I will not give up." Indu came out of the brothel. She had neither a place to live nor any means of food. She kept wandering on the streets for many days. One day, exhausted by hunger and thirst, she went and lay down under a neem tree. The condition had become so bad that the street dogs came to her and started licking her face. But Indu was not feeling anything. At that time, a kind lady was passing by, who used to sell milk and buttermilk. When she saw Indu in this condition, her heart melted. She chased the dogs away and went to Indu and called her softly, "Sister, who are you? What is your condition?" Indu's lips had dried up. She could not speak. The lady immediately took out her glass, poured milk in it, and started feeding Indu. Some milk spilled from her mouth, but she felt some relief. The lady said lovingly, "Come, sister, come with me to my house. Take a bath there, eat and rest. You cannot stay here in this condition." Indu could not speak anything, but the lady decided to support her and take her to her house. After reaching home, she bathed Indu, dressed her in clean clothes and fed her. Slowly Indu regained consciousness. The woman asked affectionately, "Now tell me, sister, who are you? What happened that you have reached this state?" Indu bowed her head, hiccuping, said, "I do not want to tell my story, I am afraid. I feel ashamed." But the woman's love and sympathy opened her heart. Indu told her all the pain of her life. The woman's eyes became moist. Holding Indu's hand, she said, "Now you are my sister. My husband is no more in this world, and I live alone with my son. Come, we will spend our lives together." Indu said, "I do not want to become a burden for you, sister. I hope the thorns of my life do not prick you too." The woman put her hand on her shoulder and said smilingly, "Sister, sharing the sorrow reduces it. We will bear everything together." From that day, Indu started living with that woman Malti. She used to help in the household chores, and Malti used to go to sell milk every day. Now one more member had joined the house, due to which the expenses also increased. One day Indu said, "Sister, if I also go with you to sell milk and buttermilk, the burden will be lightened a bit." Malti refused at first. "No, you stay at home. Outside work is fine for me." Indu smiled. "If both of us work hard together, the income will increase, and fatigue will also decrease." Finally, Malti agreed. Now both of them would go together to sell milk in the morning and return home by noon. Sending the child to school and taking care of him on returning also became a part of the routine. 3 months passed like this. One day, while selling milk, Malti lost her balance and the milk pitcher broke and fell down. She sat on the road and started crying. "What will happen now, Indu? All the milk is wasted. Today's earnings are also gone." Indu supported her and said lovingly, "Sister, don't cry so much for milk. My whole life has been ruined, yet I am smiling. Come, let's go home." Malti also had an injury on her leg. After reaching home, Indu bandaged it with turmeric oil. Now Indu took all the outside work on her shoulders. Malti's injury was not healing. Slowly her body became weak. Indu served her day and night, took care of the child, and also took care of the outside work. 6 months passed. Then one day, Malti's health suddenly deteriorated. Indu came running, but could not do anything. Malti breathed her last in her lap. Indu was stunned. She had considered her as a sister, and now that same sister had left her forever. Now another responsibility came upon Indu, Malti's son. The child was drowned in grief. He would ask again and again, "When will mother return?" Indu would explain to him lovingly, "Your mother has gone to God. She will return very soon." Slowly the child accepted Indu as his mother. Time passed. The child had now grown up. He had crossed 16 springs, and now he started helping Indu in all her work. One day, Indu and the boy went to a nearby hill to collect wood. There was a dry tree, and Indu climbed it to cut its branches. But fate had something else in store for her. The branch on which Indu was standing suddenly broke, and she fell down the hill, rolling straight into the dense forest. The boy looked down in fear, but his mother was nowhere to be seen. His scream echoed, but the answer was silence. Panicked, he ran to the village and told everyone about Indu's fall, but no one could understand anything. On the other hand, Indu had fallen from the hill and got stuck in a swamp. Stuck up to her neck in mud, she remained there for 5 days, swaying between life and death. Wild animals would come and hover around her but could not come close because of the swamp. Hunger, thirst, pain, and death all had surrounded her from all sides. Friends, but it is said that even death cannot touch the one who has not yet paid the price of life. On the 5th day, some tribals passed by there. They saw Indu stuck in the swamp and pulled her out with great effort. She was still alive but badly injured. Both her legs were badly broken. The tribals brought her to their tribe and started treatment, but the bones were so badly broken that it was not possible to save her. Ultimately, they had to amputate both of Indu's legs. Indu accepted this truth as God's will. Slowly, she started understanding the tribal language and their gestures. There was an old woman adept in meditation and spirituality. She took special care of Indu. Indu found out that the old woman knew a sadhana, meditation, that would enable a person to see his past, his previous life. Indu insisted, "I want to know about my previous life. I want to understand why there is so much suffering in my life. What have I done that I am wandering till today?" The old woman took a deep breath and said, "Daughter, it is not easy to look into one's past. What nature has forgotten, forgetting that is the only peace." But Indu remained firm. "If knowing the past will bring more suffering, I will bear that too. But to remain ignorant is unbearable now." Finally, the old woman taught her the difficult process of meditation. You have to go back to your past life, living every moment. This sadhana is long, difficult, but if the mind remains steady, the truth will come out. Indu started the sadhana. Slowly, she reached her childhood, then youth, and finally, her previous life. She saw that she was a woman named Manjari, a member of an ordinary family, but she had the biggest pain of life. She was childless. She had become a victim of mental depression due to this pain. The people of the village taunted her, made fun of her, and she was breaking down inside. One day, a tantric told her, "If you sacrifice 15 children, you will get the happiness of having children." Manjari believed that to be true, and then one by one she stole and killed 15 innocent children. There was mourning in the village. Many parents committed suicide. Some just lived by cursing. Even after Manjari died, the spirits kept cursing her. Her soul also kept burning in the fire of curses. Indu saw that in the same houses, where Manjari, that is she herself, had gone to pick up the children, there is mourning even today. Some houses have been destroyed. Even today, some elders abuse her. Seeing all this, Indu was shocked. She said, "I wish I had not seen all this. The greatest blessing is the oblivion given by nature." Now she understood what the old woman said. But now that Indu knew everything, she was burning in the fire of remorse. She wanted to atone for her sins. Meanwhile, one day a tantric came to that forest who used to control wandering souls. He controlled many souls with his tantra, and then when he felt Indu's soul, he tied her too. Indu was in agony. She said, "Don't make me commit any more sins. I have already committed a lot of sins in my life, no more." She told the tantric her entire story and prayed, "Free me. Show me a way by which I can return to my body, or else I can be erased forever." The tantric said, "Seeing your sorrow, I will not make you do any more work. But I do not have any such knowledge by which you can be sent back to your body." Hearing this, Indu's soul became disappointed. She started wandering again. A saint came to the same city, who stayed there overnight. He was the same saint who was the guru of that potter, the same potter who was Indu's husband in her previous life. Now that potter had become 80 years old and was living alone. At night, the saint and that old potter were together singing praises of God. Indu's soul was also wandering around. The saint suddenly felt that there was a soul present there, which desired salvation. He said to the potter, "Your former wife's soul is wandering here. She wants to be free." The potter was shocked. "My wife? She died many years ago. Has her soul been wandering for so many years?" The saint addressed the soul in deep meditation. "What do you want? Why are you wandering, goddess?" Indu put forth her sorrows before the saint, her sins, her mistakes, her pain. She said, "I want to return to my body, so that I can atone for my crime." The saint said, "Then you will have to come with me to the ashram. There, bhajans and kirtans are performed every day. There is power in the name of God. He will show you the path." Indu obeyed the saint and went to the ashram with him. There she used to sing bhajans, meditate and pray to God every day. Slowly she felt that she was returning to her body. She told this to the saint. The saint smiled and said, "You can return to your body, but your sins will not be erased until you help 15 people. Until you improve 15 lives, your salvation will remain incomplete." With the blessings of the saint, Indu returned to her body. When she opened her eyes, she saw that her body was very weak and injured. Ants had made wounds on her skin, but the tribals did not even touch her body. They knew that she was in a state of meditation. The tribals bandaged her wounds, fed her, and slowly Indu started regaining consciousness. First of all, she asked about the old woman who used to take care of her. The tribals said in a sad voice, "That mother died soon after you got absorbed in meditation, about 1.5 years ago. She had tried everything possible to protect you." Hearing this, Indu's heart melted. She told the tribals her entire truth. Returning to her body after 3 years, she felt a deep feeling now is the time for atonement. She could not walk, but she did not give up. Even if on her knees, she resolved to help others. She thought, God has given me another chance. I will not let it go to waste. Indu faced many hardships while wandering in the forest. Her body was wounded, she was paralyzed, but her spirit was firm. She knew that she had to touch and improve 15 lives, only then would she be redeemed. One day, she saw a snake entangled in thorns. The thorns had pierced its skin, and it was hissing in pain. Indu was scared for a moment, but then, gathering courage, she went near it. As soon as the snake saw her, it raised its hood and hissed. Indu still stood firm. She started removing the thorns from the snake slowly with a long twig lying nearby. The snake was angry at first, but then calmed down. Indu tore a piece of her dress and removed the thorns from the snake's body. The snake calmed down. There was now gratitude in its hiss. Indu said to herself, I saved a life. Perhaps for this purpose, I have got life again. A few days later, she met a hunter in the forest. He was walking with a baby deer hanging on his shoulder. Indu's heart melted. He said, Brother, please leave this innocent creature. It also has the right to live its life. The hunter said, I make a living by selling it. This is my profession. If I leave it, my family will die of hunger. Indu said compassionately, Brother, killing animals is a sin. There is a lot in the forest wood, fruits, flowers, medicines which can become a means of survival honestly. Killing animals and filling one's stomach is not in accordance with Dharma in any way. Indu's words had an impact on the hunter's heart. He freed the baby deer and promised that he would never kill any living being again. Indu was very happy. She thought, maybe now this hunter's life will change, and this will also save the lives of many animals. Indu decided that she will go to the forest every day and help someone in need. She knew that this is her atonement. While wandering in the forest, Indu resolved that now she will help every distressed creature. One day while walking, she saw that a wolf was stuck in the bushes. Thorns were stuck in his feet and he was groaning in pain. At first, Indu got scared, but seeing the wolf's pain, she sat a little distance away and started watching him. After some time, the wolf slowly lowered his voice and started looking at her, as if saying, I need help, I will not harm you. Indu gathered courage. With trembling hands, she gently placed her hand on the wolf's head. The wolf calmed down. Indu carefully removed the thorns from his feet. The wolf felt relieved. He walked some distance, then came back and started licking Indu's hands, as if thanking in his language. After this, he went towards the forest. This experience was very special for Indu. She realized for the first time that animals also have feelings and love. She thought to herself that if she could give some support to these creatures, then why not devote her life to this service? Indu resolved that she would help every living being, be it a human, an animal, or a plant. Even while crawling on her knees, she would go out to the forest every day and help the needy. This effort of hers gradually became famous in the entire forest. Animals and birds started coming and living near her. She was no longer just a human being, but had become an integral part of the forest. Indu had grown old and her body had become weak, but her soul had unshakable courage and true love. One day she was sitting on the riverbank. Fish were playing near her and birds were sitting in her lap. Indu accepted her end by looking at the sun. Slowly she fell. The squirrel nearby saw this and called all the animals and tribals in its voice. Everyone together bid farewell to Indu. Her body was buried with love and reverence. Everyone prayed for the peace of her soul. After Indu's departure, miraculous changes took place in the forest. Where earlier there used to be no rain for years, now it started raining abundantly every year. Rivers and ponds were filled with water. Trees and plants remained green all the time. All the creatures and tribals felt that Indu's soul is still present in the forest. Her kindness and love is alive in everyone's hearts. Friends, now I want to tell you some important things, which can explain why some women are deprived of the happiness of children, and why people make their lives miserable. First thing, effect of wrong deeds. Indu had done things that harmed others in her previous life. She troubled innocent children and went on the wrong path. Wrong deeds have an effect on our life, even if it is not visible immediately. It can gradually create problems. Therefore, we should always keep our actions in the right direction, because the fruits of karma are definitely seen sooner or later. Second point: anger and jealousy towards others. Indu was unhappy due to lack of children in her previous life. Instead of handling her problem, she started getting jealous and angry at the happiness of others. This negative thinking made her situation more complicated. Instead of getting jealous and angry, we should learn to be happy in the happiness of others and keep our mind calm. Third point: going against the laws of nature. Indu adopted such measures to get children which were against the laws of nature. She did not work with patience and wisdom, due to which her situation became more difficult. We should accept every problem with patience and ease. Adopting the wrong path can increase our problems. Friends, no matter what the time is, deeds should always be good. Because if not today, then tomorrow we definitely get the fruits of our deeds. We have to answer for our actions and words. Dear friends, if this message has touched your heart, please like this video, share it with your friends and family, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Your every like and share gives us energy to bring more inspirational stories. While walking, you also say Jai Jai Shri Radhe Krishna.